Welcome to Baking with Bella. Today we will be exploring the science of baking represented in the media. Our first form of media is a newspaper article that comes from the Columbus Dispatch. One interesting fact from the article states, combining the dry and wet ingredients puts them to work. The proteins in the flour bond and create gluten, giving the cake its flexibility. Eggs hold the mixture together. Baking powder and baking soda each release carbon dioxide, adding bubbles to the batter, helping it expand. These are just some general facts about the science of baking, but it makes you think what's really happening when you're mixing your ingredients together. Another form of media that explains the science of baking is a book titled Cooking Light Everyday Baking. In this book, there's various recipes for baked goods and as well as explanations of the ingredients and the importance of those ingredients. One thing that I found interesting was a description about vanilla extract. It says, vanilla extract, the concentrated flavor of vanilla, is a popular addition to complex flavors found in the genuine pure extract. Imitation vanilla is made from paper manufacturing byproducts treated with chemicals, and its flavors often have a harsh finish. I found this very interesting because it makes you think about what you're really putting in your food. Also, many of you most likely use imitation vanilla, which could be why most of your cakes don't taste exactly like vanilla. So next time you're baking a cake and the recipe calls for vanilla extract, don't use imitation vanilla. Try the real deal and see what happens. For our TV show, we have a clip from a show called Kids Baking Championship.
Baking powder, salt, and sugar, and then I whip all the egg whites until they form stiff peaks. And then I mix my wet and my dry until that's just combined, and then I fold in all my egg whites. The spatula did not do any justice at all, so I just had to get in there with my hands so I could really scrape the bottom of the bowl and make sure everything was really mixed. I haven't put any flour.
In this clip, the young baker combines all of her wet and dry ingredients, but at the end, she folds in her egg whites. Eggs play an important role when baking a cake. Proteins from the egg whites holds the cake together, while the egg yolks gives the cake its consistency. Because she folded in her egg whites at the end, she most likely was attempting to make her cake lighter and more airy, which makes sense because she was baking a big cake. This is a great technique when making big cakes like she was, or pound cakes. Next time you're baking a cake, try folding in egg whites at the end to add a light, airy texture. For our national broadcast, we have a clip from ABC News.
Surprise cake, it's chocolate cake with buttermilk.
Yes, we wanted to do a simpler version that anybody can do at home with a boxed cake mix, and my tip is that in the back it says to use water. Don't use water, use coffee or use stout beer to cut the sweetness of the cake. You can also add some...
In the clip, the young lady mentions that substituting coffee for water will cut down some of the sweetness in the chocolate cake. For the most part, this is true, but when you use coffee instead of water, you're actually enhancing the chocolate flavor in the cake, because the chocolate and coffee have similar flavor elements. This might cut down some of the sweetness, but either way, it can easily elevate your cake. So, next time you're baking a cake, try substituting water for coffee to turn your cake into chocolate heaven. For our movie, we have a clip from Pixie Hollow.
My name is Gelata, and baking is my life. For the last 399 years, we, the baking fairies, have made the same mouth-watering, frankly perfect cake for the Queen's arrival day. Do I think we'll get to 400? Piece of cake. A little bit.
In this clip, it shows how the bakers mix their cake ingredients with a handheld mixer. This is very inconvenient considering the size of the cake that they were baking. Because of the cake size, an electric mixer or whisk would have made the job 10 times easier, as well as given the cake a better consistency. When you're mixing your batter, you're essentially creating air pockets so that the cake rises evenly. When you mix your ingredients by hand, your cake might not rise as well. So, next time you're baking, save yourself some time and use an electric mixer. Thanks for watching! See you next time on Baking with Bella.